Cool.
Subscribe Squad, it's another day, it's another dollar, and it's time for another freaking interview. Today we're talking to the very creative, you know what I'm saying, very talented Matt. And say what's up to the people.
Greetings, Earthlings. My name is Matt. I go by the name PFV, but that may be soon to change, and I'll tell you why later. But anyways, hi. Thank you for saying that I'm talented. I appreciate it.
You're very talented. So what I always start off by asking people, and we'll get into the name change later, I'll ask you about that. When did you fall in love with music?
I fell in love with music ever since I was a little kid. When I was in like elementary school, I started playing trumpet, hilariously enough, and I was fire at trumpet all the way up till high school, and then I quit. But I used to play guitar, and I started by playing Guitar Hero. How ridiculous is that?
You know what? That's actually, you just gave them hella pub, bro. Like, you really did. Like,
I started playing, yeah.
That's wild, bro. Guitar Hero. Like, I really remember Guitar Hero. I really remember sitting there thinking I was doing something. Like,
yeah. I got really good at Guitar Hero, and I told my mom I loved it, and the game wasn't challenging enough for me anymore. And I was like, I think I'm just gonna play real guitar. So I went to a pawn shop and bought my first guitar. And when I was in high school, I just started playing and singing. So it's been since then. So like 10 years, 11 years.
Wow. Okay. All right. 10 years, 11 years. So at what point were you like, all right, we're going to go from Guitar Hero to like, I'm actually going to do this as a career?
Oh. The career thing came later because I started touring around Ohio and doing acoustic shows. I did open mics, and I would do like back-to-back nights of open mics and just shows that I booked and everything. And then I started recording probably 8 years ago. So after I recorded my first song, I was like, oh my God, I love doing this. And I wanted to do it myself.
Okay. I'm rocking with that. And at what point were you like, okay, so there's the decision of like, I'm going to do this as a career, right? But then there's also the thing of like, it can work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, did you have a song that connected with people? Did you have a song that blew up or a video that blew up that was like, okay, man, I'm on to something?
Yeah. So years back, I was a sound engineer. I played acoustic songs mainly, and I was a sound engineer for local rappers. And they always put out rap beats. And I was like, you know what? One day I loved rap. So I was like, I'm just going to rap on this. And I put a rap song of me on YouTube. And it got like, this was in 2012, I think. And it got like 3,000 views in a day. And for, you know, me in 2012, I was like, oh my God, maybe this is the wave. So that's pretty much when I decided that. And then I quit my job and I was like, you know what, I'm going to sound engineer full time and give myself time to make my own music in between sound engineering. So this was in 2012. I made that leap.
Okay. Interesting. 2012. Wow. Okay. So I first found out about you through one of the homies, Chase. And that's how.
Yeah, that's my homie.
Right. Everybody's homie because he's a cool guy. And so I want to know, like, how did you meet him? And like, at what point were you guys like, okay, we're going to work on this? Like, we're going to work on a song together.
So years back, a few years ago, probably 3 or 4 years ago, he held a contest online. It was called Jersey Schizo with Ashton Larold, if you're familiar. And Caliber Beats, I think it was. And there's this guy a producer named Syndrome, and Syndrome hit me up to get into the contest. So I entered Chase's contest like 4 years ago, and he loved my music afterwards. I ended up winning. So he was like, yo, I love this dude's music. And ever since then, we've been friends and we've been talking.
Wow. See, it's crazy how you link up with somebody. And it's like, for me, it's like when you really have a real, like, genuine friendship with somebody, it makes the music that much better because it's like, we're not trying to force this situation. This is just us. We just happen to make music together. And I rock with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how Chase and I have been for years. Like, we've literally been homies. There would be years at a time where we didn't make any songs together, but we would talk to each other every week just as friends, you know? He's been my friend ever since then.
That's cool. So you clearly have, you know, several tattoos. I want to know, like, you know, when did you get your first tattoo?
I got my first tattoo when I think I was freshly 18. I might have been 19. And I got my chest tattooed. I got like live for the moment on my chest somewhere down here. And it was my first one on my chest. And then ever since then, I was like, yo, I love this. I need more.
Do you have a count on how many you have, or have you lost the count?
I have one tattoo. It just all connects.
What? Okay.
I'm like, I really don't. I don't know how many sessions it's been, but I like pretty much like my arms, chest, neck, and face connect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is your goal to have like the whole body, the whole thing connect?
Yes, absolutely. I want to have my whole body. I think I'm done with my face though. I don't like the ones that are down here. Like when people get them on their cheeks, I'm not a huge fan of that.
All right. So we keeping the cheeks. The cheeks is gonna be here, but you like the forehead situation. How bad
Yeah.
does that hurt?
I kind of feel like I need to balance it out and get something up here, but I don't want to do barbed wire because I'm not Post Malone.
Mm. Yeah, I'm not feeling the barbed wire either, so I feel you on that. But okay, you gonna connect the dots, like you know what I'm saying. How bad did that hurt? See, I am somebody I have no tattoos, so
None.
none. I'm squeaky clean.
Okay, so it's really not that bad. So getting your face tattooed is pretty much popping a pimple is worse than getting your face tattooed. Now, however, this like on you can't see it. I need to get a haircut. I'm actually getting one tonight.
Okay.
But the side of the head, the side like back here is so bad, terrible. It was excruciating pain. I don't want to do it again, but I'm going to because I'm going to get the other side done.
Wow, you're like you need a real award for that. You need the real MVP goes to. Like,
I feel like the reward is having it because it's almost like a stamp of like I did this.
I
it's
feel
a badge
it.
of honor.
And I'm not against tattoos at all. I haven't found something that would be that's so important to me that I wanted to get tatted. If that makes any sense. And for me, like I feel like if I'm gonna do it, at least the first one, it needs to be something that's like pretty something. And maybe I will eventually. Who knows? I'm not 100% against it. I definitely believe that tattoos is just another form of art and expression.
Yeah, it is.
And it's just like, it's the same thing as where there's females who put on makeup every day as a form of expression and etc. I feel like tattoos could be another way, like almost like an accessory. It should be an accessory to who you are. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, 1000%. Like most all my tattoos have meaning. I have like 2 or 3 that are just, I told my tattoo artist, I was like, I do like that. You can put it on my arm, but everything else is like super meaningful to me.
Cool. What's your favorite song that you've ever written and why?
I wrote this song called Out of My Control, and I don't know if you've heard it, but I wrote it from I was next to my mom when she was dying, and I wrote it like there. I started writing it there, and then I wrote the rest of it on the plane when I went home, and I like recorded it that day and put it out the same day that she died. So it was like, I will literally never make a song that I'm more partial to, ever.
That has to be like...
Yeah. That's literally the pinnacle of emotion in song for me. There's never going to be anything that huge.
Wow, so. How do you feel like her passing has affected you moving forward?
So it's the worst thing that's ever happened to me and the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. So like, I don't know, man. I have so much more motivation now because it changed who I was as a person. And when you get put down so hard and you feel something like pain like that, you know that any other thing that comes at you, it's like a tiny obstacle. Like a fallback in your career, say you put out something, it doesn't do as well. Who cares, dude? You felt the pain of losing your best friend, losing your mom, Like, I don't feel that kind of pain anymore. Like, I lose a friend or something, I brush it off. I'm like, dude, who cares?
Like, because nothing's going to beat this mom. Like,
it changes your whole entire perspective on life, your perspective on pain. It's truly wild, to be honest with you. I've matured. I'm a way different person now than I was back then.
Interesting. I could see that. Okay, so you clearly have your stage name tattooed on your neck, but you're about to change that. So what is up with that? Why are we changing this? Because I thought it was for life, bro. Like,
it is, and what I'm changing it to still is correlates. So we can talk about that later, like at a later date, maybe not in this interview, but it is happening. It's on the way. And I have an explanation, and it's a super good one, I promise.
Okay, we'll put a pin in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom. Okay, for people who don't know what PFV means, like, what does it mean?
It stands for Postcard from Veronica, because when I started, I was an acoustic singer, and I also was in a couple metal bands, and that's what we called ourselves. So, so that was what I started with. And the first time I ever did a rap song, I was like, okay, PFV sounds way easier to roll off the tongue, and plus it doesn't sound like an emo band.
It doesn't, and it is much easier to roll off. Okay, so what's next for you? Like, what should we expect from you for the rest of the year?
So I already have about 100 songs recorded right now, and they're not out yet. I actually have been holding on to stuff since last year, and it's wild because I've been releasing every week. I didn't even know that I had this much music until I like really looked at it the other day, and I was like, this is insane. So I have a ton of music that I'm going to be putting out all the end of the year and then throughout 2021. I'm working with my friend Drama B, and today we just thought about making another album with Chase, like me, Drama B, and Chase. I think that would be really awesome. Do you know who Drama B is?
No idea.
Okay. Super talented dude. He's a really good rapper. He works with a lot of EDM producers as well.
Okay. I have to look him up.
But we want to make he's really dope. Make an entire album, or EP rather, where it's just us and us producing. So like, I have this other friend that I met at Guitar Center recently. It's completely wild. I went in there to buy something and we started talking. And this dude is literally the best producer I've ever met in person ever. He's crazy good. He'll come to the studio in a studio session and just make an entire beat in like 10 minutes, and it's not trash. It's not like a tight beat. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's so good. So his name's Colin, but his producer name is Jay Fletch. So I think the next thing you're gonna see from me is a solo album, and then something with Drama B, Chase, and Jay Fletch.
All right. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to that. That sounds like some fire. Sounds like I'm gonna have some good stuff to react to. Hopefully, me and you will end up working on a song together in the future as well.
Definitely.
I'm open to that as well. Okay, so last question I want to ask you: like, how do you feel about the YouTube community? Positive, negatives, everything.
So I actually we were just going back and forth on Twitter about this the other day because Crypt, you know Crypt, right?
Yeah, I do.
Crypt was like, he was like, everything was cool in YouTube Cypher 1, and then after that, the community basically like imploded. And it was really true. Like back on YouTube Cypher 1, everyone that was on it was like, yo, you guys want to collab? This is awesome. What a great opportunity to be friends with all these people. And then ever since YouTube Cypher 2, everyone's like, oh, I'm not on the next one. I'm not on this one. Man, fuck y'all. And it's like, it's turned into this, like, there's so much negativity now. And I'm really sick of the I'm better than you rapper shit. Like, so one thing I noticed is like the other day, you know, that there's that guy named Samad Savage. I actually just hit him up to do a song because I think he's super dope. But he was perpetuating that the other day with like, nobody can battle me and stuff. I hate seeing that mentality. Much love to him, and I'm not dissing or talking shit, but I hate that mentality because everyone follows suit and everyone goes, oh, well, I'll beat you. I'm a better rapper. I'm a better rapper. It's like, dude, it's not about that. It's about who can make better songs, who can express themselves. It's not a competition.
Okay, now I'll play devil's advocate, right? Let me play devil's advocate in that. So I get you in the sense of like having unity, in the sense of like moving the community forward, and like, you know, but I also feel like part of hip hop culture though is to have a competitive spirit. And so my opinion is that I don't think there's anything wrong with saying I'm a better rapper than you, blah, 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 and going back and forth on some rap stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause that the competition of hip hop is part of the culture of like, all right, I'm gonna make this song, you turn around and you make another song, we go back and forth.
Okay. You know what?
Let's duke it out.
No, you're 100% right. And I think we tiptoe the line a little too much because it's kind of a blurry line on where does the competition end and everything else live, you know? Like, where can we be cool with saying like, I'm the best too, I love you, like, let's progress together. I don't like it when people put other people down about it.
Okay. And so what is your definition of putting somebody down about it then?
So to say like, you're never going to be better than anybody else because everyone is a better version. Like, okay, so everyone does themselves better than someone else does them. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Like, I'm the better me than you would be of me, and you're the better you than you could be of me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like, you're the best version of yourself, and trying to be better than somebody else is like going into their lane.
I can agree with that to a certain extent, but I feel like, okay, here's the problem. Because when people say, okay, so I don't know if you heard the song that I put out, but I put out a song called Smoke, right? And I titled it Screwface Diss, but it wasn't really a diss. It was more so of Screwface has claimed that he's, you know, one of the top 5 rappers on YouTube. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so for me, I'm like, okay, you say you're top 5, then I'm gonna be like, nah, I don't think you're top 5. Try to out rap me. Come back with bars. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't say anything personal on the record. I didn't say anything that I felt like disrespectful. I didn't cuss it all on the record. It was just on some, I feel like I'm a better rapper in that sense. And so I classified it in the sense of, you say you're top 5 on YouTube. And what you're talking about is going into your other lane. Like, for me to be like, I'm better than Screwface, that's a matter of opinion, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, 1000%. You're correct. And that's where the negativity comes in. Because then they try to put them down. They try to be like, I'm better than you, you suck. And you're like, dude, we don't need that. Like, lift each other up, man. Be the best you and they be the best them, and be like, you know what? I'm better than you at this, and then you guys can all get better together.
And I feel like but I'm saying having a sense of competition pushes the culture forward, as well as, like, you know what I'm saying. But at the same time, don't cross lines and don't say somebody's trash, because the trash is just it's just relative. Nowhere in the song did I say he was trash. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, how can I sit here and make
what
that
I was trying to get towards? But I think I need another coffee before I can fully get there. So like, my brain is like right now. It's like stroking out, but I feel that 1000%. That's like exactly what I'm saying. They don't find the line of when it's like, be a good rapper, but don't talk shit to somebody about it for nothing. You know, like,
yeah.
And also dissing somebody to get a career, to me, is super whack.
Yeah, I don't think that's the way. Like, I really don't think that's the way. And anybody who claimed that was me, bro, you need to go someplace to sit down, because I was here doing stuff way prior to that. And we want to talk about things that I've achieved. Like, this is a song, and we're going to let it be a song. You know what I'm saying? We're going to let it be a moment. But at the same time, I'm doing stuff before, I'm doing stuff after. And not only that, like, I've been building my own fan base for touring and reactions. I don't know, you name it. But I think if you strictly are coming at somebody in a disrespectful way, and that doesn't push the culture forward to me. I feel like it doesn't. I feel like there's nothing wrong with, you know, trying to be the best and be the best rapper. There's nothing wrong with trying to be the best version of yourself. And I also feel like there's nothing wrong with challenging somebody, but you do have to, there's the thin line between, this is a rap challenge, this is on some hip hop stuff, and to this is disrespectful. Like,
I agree. But check this out. What I think is one of the worst things about humans is ego. And the second that you kill your ego, you're going to get the best outcome in whatever you're doing. So say that you're doing a team thing with somebody, and you guys are both egotistical about how good you are, and you're trying to be better than the guy that's on your team. You're always going to fail, because there's going to be a clash and a conflict. But if you guys can both go, you know what, it doesn't matter right now because we're both awesome and we're going to succeed, you're always going to have a better outcome. As long as you can kill your ego in a studio session, you are going to have a better outcome, because you're like, okay, I'm a great me, they're a great them, we can make a great song, and you're going to get something that will propel itself through the charts, and you're not going to get some shit where everyone's just like, yap, I'm a better rapper, I be rapping, I be trapping, you know, like, we don't need that.
Yeah, I agree, man. I'm rocking with that too. I mean, I'm glad we got a chance to talk. Shout out your socials before we go, so everybody can follow you.
So right now, all of my socials are going to be at Matt PFV. That's literally me on everything. But my rap name is not Matt PFV, and this has been confusion forever.
I was confused. I'm not confused now. I'm not confused.
That's what I'm saying, but like, oh my God. Everyone's not going to be confused soon, because we're going to make sure that it's cohesive.
Okay, cool. Well, you had to hear, this was PFV. Make sure you follow him on all his socials. Check out his music. Check out everything that he has coming up. Let me know who else I should interview here on the channel, and we will see you guys next time.